up guys, welcome back to the Motorhead YouTube channel. So guys, I know you haven't seen a video in a very long time and I'm really sorry guys. I did actually get into an accident and it was pretty bad, and I was out of work for about 2 weeks, and I came back to work and it was the worst week of my life. So I took a vacation to Puerto Rico, had a great time, but now we are back to work on the Porsche 911 GT3. And as you guys know, Daniel did do all the PDR work on this quarter. It turned out amazing. He actually came back yesterday and finished it up. I went ahead and tore the entire car down. As you can see, this thing is just blown apart. We got the whole rear end off, that way he can get access up in here. And he got it all done and it looks awesome. Today we're gonna start doing some mud work on this quarter panel. And as you can see guys, we're not replacing the quarter and it looks awesome. We won't have to put a lot of Bondo on it and it's gonna look awesome. We're gonna get it nice and straight. We are also painting this car in pieces. As you can see from this right here, in order to paint this, you would get dry spray up inside there, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do today is get that door and fender off, and I'm gonna strip the door down, and Dawn is actually going to paint the car in pieces. So we're gonna paint the hood, the fenders, the doors, and the bumpers in one go. And once that is done, we're going to paint the body of the car second. So pretty much it's gonna be a lot easier. You can lay these panels down flat and you can get them nice and slick, and it's gonna turn out super awesome. And another crazy thing Larry discovered it, is this car had paint work before, which is pretty crazy. So we come over to this side right here and there is a tape line going through here. So I don't know if you can see it. Matt, do you have a light? So as you can see right there, there is a tape line, and this entire quarter panel was repainted. And honestly, I mean, you can't really see the tape line unless you're really looking for it. They didn't do a terrible job, but there are a couple of spots where you can see like trash if you look through that, and also where they buffed it. So they burned it in somewhere over here, and they didn't go into here, obviously because of this issue right here where there would be dry spray. Oh, actually, did they? Let me see it right again. Yeah, okay, so they did. They went all the way to the end and you can see dry spray right there. We don't want that. We want to do this right. So we are going to take these two parts off and just paint in probably to this line right here. That's actually a perfect breaking point, and it'll be really nice that way because there won't be no spots that show that there was paint work done, because we want this car to look nice. It's a clean title and it's a brand new car. So we're gonna go ahead and get started over there and go over what we need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the quarter panel, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get an 80 grit and put it onto a block, and we're going to block all these spots, and we're going to see where the low spots are, what we need to put filler on and everything. So I'm gonna get that block, we're gonna get started, and we're going to see what we need to do, how bad it is and how deep it is, which for the most part, everything pulled out really good. This is aluminum, so it's not really easy to work with, but Daniel did a fantastic job over at Dent Tamers in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'll link his stuff down below. He did a fantastic job and saved me a lot of work. So I'm very grateful to him. Let's go ahead and get started on this and get it going. Okay guys, so I did some work on this wheel arch right here, and it was rolled in a little bit right here, and when this rolled in, it actually made a huge bulge here, but we got it pretty much perfect. As you can see, there's a couple tiny low spots, but honestly, that's not bad at all. I mean, that's literally millimeters. And we've already tried to pull this. Daniel pulled it for quite a while, pretty much a full day if you count both days he was here. And so far we have these little low spots, and then right here is just a tiny little dip, and right here is a very, very tiny dip. But other than that, everything is pretty much perfect. So these spots will need a little bit extra filler, but honestly, it's not a big deal. As I said, they're very tiny dips, and it's probably gonna have like that much filler on it, honestly. So not too bad, especially since it's not huge areas. It's just little tiny spots. So right here, this actually turned out really good. I've been blocking it out, and I think with some glaze, this will be perfect. There's a couple little high spots we got to deal with, but I'm gonna heat that up. For now, I'm gonna focus on these spots and get the body filler down. And once the body filler is down and we know that it's all good, we're gonna go ahead and get it all prepped for glaze and get the glaze on there. And that way we can get this quarter panel primed. And once it's primed, we can go ahead and start stripping the thing down for paint. Super excited, guys. Next week, half of the car is going to be painted, and then maybe the body, I don't know yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. So let's go ahead and get this done, and then we'll move on to glaze. Okay, to start off, guys, I got 80 grit on a DA, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit all these edges right here. And what that does is it gives 80 grit scratches for the filler to transition into the paint. That way you have a smooth transition, you can prime over. So we're going to get it all prepped, throw it on the body filler, get that done, and then once it's ready for glaze, that's going to be the easy part. So let's get started. Okay guys, so we got all the body filler way down, and as you can see where it's bleeding through everywhere, this is just very minimal. It's just a skim coat. Next we're gonna do a skim coat of glazing putty, and it may seem like a lot, but it's literally just a skim, and most of it's gonna be taken off. So everything looks good now. We're gonna go ahead and glaze this, and then we'll see how it looks. Well guys, we got all the body work done. I went ahead and fixed the hood. We had the little chip there that we panel bonded. We're gonna dust in just a little bit of primer there, a little bit here. I moved it over here because I didn't really any overspray coming over here. But the quarter panel is done. It feels amazing. And as you can see, all the paint peeking through, this is literally just a skim coat. There's like no putty on there whatsoever. Super thin layers. But I'm really happy with how everything turned out. And now we are going to go ahead and prime it all and get it nice and good and ready for paint. So we're gonna get this wiped off and start throwing down that primer. Well guys, the quarter panel is finally done, and it took a lot of work to get this looking right and the line very nice and uniform, and everything looks great, everything feels great. But we are still going to block and reprime this. Most shops will. I mean, it's the best way to ensure that everything is absolutely perfect. So in the future I will have to take the interior apart and get this glass out, so that's why I'm not too worried about this line. Plus this line is on this edge, so when you sand it out, it'll get out really easily. And when we reprime it, this window will be out and we'll go around the whole edge. But for now, we are going to focus on getting the other door off and getting that fender off. So that's what we'll do right now. And then eventually, when it's time to paint the body and all the glasses out, we'll throw one more coat and make sure this is perfect. But as you can see, the line is there and it's just perfectly smooth. I did make a little run right through there, but not too big of a deal. Like I said, we're getting a new coat of primer here soon. So other than that, everything turned out beautiful. This gap looks amazing, and this thing is just gonna look awesome. I can't wait. It's so exciting, guys, because now that the body work is done and once we get those doors off, we can go ahead and start painting. And like I said, we'll paint all the other parts and then we'll get the body ready, and then we just put this thing back together and have it done by the end of this month. So that's super exciting. We have these new wing brackets on the way, and also we have all the new glass, and we have everything to put this thing back together. So super exciting, guys. It's just coming to an end. And honestly, this Porsche isn't even really too hard to work with. You know, taking this all apart was actually pretty straightforward. I did find some hidden damage under here. This bracket was bent and that actual bumper bracket was destroyed. So we have a new one on the way, and it even pushed the headlight into here, which just damaged this. It really didn't damage anything structurally, so not a big deal. We got a tail light, this new bracket on the way, and other than that, the heat shields, I think we can just unbend them, because as you can see, that one is mangled a little bit as compared to that one. So really not a big deal, nothing crazy under here. I mean, it was pretty much expected with that bumper being pushed in like it was. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and start on getting everything ready, and we'll start with that door. Pretty straightforward, except that the harness goes into the dash, so you got to kind of work with it. So we're going to go ahead and start on that. And one thing I do like is these doors actually bolt on right there, and it slides up. So once we paint it, we don't have to adjust it and risk scratching it. We just set it right in its place and it'll be ready to go. So I'm going to start by getting this door off, and then once we get this door off, we'll get the fender off and get it ready for paint. Okay guys, so if you look along this door, this was also repainted. As we said, that quarter panel was painted, and you can just see, man, they did a terrible job. If you see all, that's looks like solvent pop with a little bit of orange peel, and they didn't even buff this door because there's tons of bits of trash in it. So good thing we're repainting this thing. We're gonna do it right and make it look really good. Throw some very nice clear on it, probably sickens, and that stuff is high dollar, probably like $950 a gallon. So it's definitely worth it though, because you don't have solvent pop like that and you'll have no dieback. So this door is done. We got it all stripped down. I didn't get the window off because it has to go down, but it's just gonna be easier. We're taping off the entire underside anyways, and we don't have to remove it, and it's still paintable like this. And as you can see guys, when we have all the parts inside the booth, they're gonna be super easy to paint nice and slick because they'll all be laid out flat like this. So we're gonna move on, get that fender off, and then that will pretty much be all the parts, and Don can go ahead and start paint prepping them. Well guys, we got all of the parts off, and as you can see, it's gonna be super simple to paint all these. We're gonna have these mounted just like this. For now, we're just gonna paint prep them on here, and I do need to still take these off and this emblem, which isn't a big deal, it's just taped on underneath here and underneath there. But yeah, look at this guys, we got all the doors off, and now we are ready. Don's gonna go ahead and start prepping all this. And while he's prepping that and getting that painted, as I said, I'm gonna prep the body. Still a lot to do here. We still have to fix the wing and a couple other little things, but man, it's looking good. And we got a lot of progress. I'm super happy about all of this. And as you can see, this body work just turned out phenomenal. So stay tuned guys. I can't wait to get this thing painted. Like I said, we're gonna get this thing done by the end of September. That's what we are shooting for. So we'll have a lot of content coming out on this thing, and then we can get my M3 in here and start working on that, which is gonna be super exciting. All right guys, that's gonna be it for this video. As you can see, we worked like Hebrew slaves to get this thing ready for paint, and I'm super happy with all of the progress, and I can't wait. I know Alec is gonna be super excited too. So next video is gonna be paint prep. Don's gonna go ahead and start sanding all these parts and getting them ready, and we're gonna get this thing knocked out quick. As you guys know from my accident, you know, I kind of had a little setback. But yeah, we're back in full force, and I'm healed up and I'm feeling good. I'm thankful to God for protecting me. That's number one thing. You know, the car is just a piece of metal, but at the end of the day, our lives are very important. So I'm very happy and very blessed. So that's gonna be it guys. You can follow us on Instagram for inside scoops of this stuff before the video drops at motorhead.co. Link it down below, and I'll see you in. Oh, actually guys, the giveaway. So I'm going to pin the winner in the comments. So go check out the comments below, and you'll see if you won the Super Queen giveaway. If not, we'll do plenty more in the future. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.